Stream is live.
Welcome back to Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always, here taking a break from living the life of an outlaw. Once again, I'm trying to avoid the guillotine until I'm the last man standing this year. You can find me where the killers hang, sipping on my Long Island iced tea. Neat, that is. This year was crazy. I was asking where's the bud in the hood, and this hoe wanted me to give her some late night tip, but she decided to stomp all over my heart, so now her body parts are in my trunk. And that's just the end of that story. Let me introduce my co host, though. He's known for being in too deep with the local lawman, to the point where it's life or death. You interrupt his money flow, and he'll walk up to your house, bomb first, and ask questions later. He gets asked all the time, "You are not a riot, so why do you think you are?" He just responds, "Me and my girlfriend toss it up nightly until we get the magic clap. So you're damn straight I'm a riot." I just think of him as some strange arithmetic thrown together by the gods of science that was overall a Hail Mary in the dark that just came out lucky. The music god CJ motherfucking Plane, everybody.
Hey, yo. And let me go on record as saying I've never had the clap.
But it's the magic clap. It's not the normal clap.
I
Everybody
don't care
wants
if
the
I don't care if it's magic or not. My name is not Magic Johnson. I ain't out here catching no kind of funky funk.
uh, yeah, I had fun writing your part of the intro. I really did. But, folks, we, of course, have another amazing guest with us this week. And our guest this week is Nephilim, another rap artist recommended by a former guest of the show who's actually been on the show twice, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But we are glad. We've been trying to get him on for months, and he's finally able to come on. What's going on, brother?
Hey, nothing much, man. I'm finally happy to be here, happy to make it. It's been a couple of months in the making. Had a little situation come up the last time, man, but I'm glad you extended the invitation for me to come back on again. Give me a chance to come back on, and yeah, man, I'm ready to kick it. I've heard a lot of great things about the show. My longtime best friend and A1 from day one, and my producer told me, man, you're gonna really enjoy it. He was like, man, they're your type of guys, man. Just hang out and have fun with it, and that's what I'm here to do, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure, our pleasure. Yeah, and shout out to my boy Anthony Lewin, another rapper who same as our guest today. I truly enjoy both their music stylings because I follow them both on Spotify now for a good 6 months probably. So it's been a blast. You get new releases like every month or so. So fuck yeah, at
Yeah.
least from one of them. So I mean, it's always a good time. So what made you want to be a rapper? That's the question I got to ask. So what made you want to be a rapper?
Oh man, I grew up in it, man. I kind of consider myself a child of hip hop. I came in, I grew up in that era where it was just taking off. You know what I mean? Your Run DMCs, your Beastie Boys, LL Cool J's, and then of course when the South found their voice, man. It's just something that just grew in me, and always been a writer, in some form or another, poetry or whatnot. But it's just that was just my calling, as well as and the thing I liked about it is hip hop is infused with a lot of different styles of music, through sampling and everything like that. So it gave me a chance to tap into a lot of other forms of music that you know that I probably normally wouldn't have gotten a chance to partake in. So
That's what's up. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're close to the same age. So I kind of grew up in the same area you did, so I get it, a
yeah.
100%. I mean, it's well, I mean, I'm 37, so I don't know where the hell you are with that, but I think we're the same. We seem like we're close to the same age, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I mean, growing up in the '90s, 2000s, rap was booming and taking off from day one, and it hasn't stopped. It's gotten a little shitty nowadays. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
Go
it's
ahead. Go
Correct.
ahead and just call me the old guy.
I
That's
didn't say
fine.
I didn't point it out. I didn't point it out. Hell no. I, I
I've
know.
been around since the beginning of hip hop.
Right.
I,
The
I
the
was I was
historian
there
for
in the
sure.
I was there in the Furious 5 and it made Herc days. So,
That's what I'm talking about.
you know,
The
we won't say how
old.
old I am, but we'll just say I'm old.
CJ was there when they first dusted off that vinyl, put it on the spin table, and said, "So look what we can do with this."
Oh
But
man,
Right.
yeah, back when they was hooking the gear up into the light post.
That's right.
exactly. So, what album did you want to bring us today to have us give a listen to, and why did you want to bring this one? I'm kind of curious. Not saying anything nothing negative, but I'm kind of curious.
in my opinion, you know, a lot of people it's across the board their favorite Tupac album. Tupac's one of my favorite artists for sure. But my favorite album by him is the Machiavelli album, the posthumous album that he released, 7 Day Theory. And the reason being is just because I just think collectively, like that's when he was, you know, aside from, you know, him passing away too early, too early. I think he was just hitting his stride lyrically. Of course, he always, you know, had subject matter and substance and everything like that, and you know, across the board as far as his diverse, you know, style and topics. But I think lyrically, from like he was just now finding his patterns, his cadences, his, you know what I mean, just his style as far as, you know, not just being just a rapper, but actually being an elite lyricist. And his writing. And then also the production of the album. Um, you know, it just all came together. And I just think that from that point on, we would have gotten a lot more from him, even though he was like in a sense of Prince, just like had a whole vault catalog of music, you know, to release even after his death. But I just think that that album just embodied everything that he stood for and him reaching his apex.
I gotta ask, yo. I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still alive?
Ooh, you know what? I'm a conspiracy theorist in a way. He might be chilling out in Havana, as far as I know. I mean, you know, and that's another thing about that album. It's mysterious because you know he named it that and changed his name for a reason. I'm not gonna say. Okay, you know what? I don't have a definite answer, so I'll be like the possibility is there. I
I
won't say definitely that he's dead.
I mean, it's funny because me and CJ did a episode of his podcast about a couple weeks ago about conspiracy theories, and that's one of the ones that CJ had on his list is that Tupac is still alive.
It, it came out. It came out on Saturday.
Ah,
I totally forgot to send it to him, and then I woke up Saturday morning and was like, "Man, I still forgot." Even after we had that discussion on Friday, after not sending it, I went to sleep and still forgot to send it. So I sent it to him, and I'll send you the link. It's
I,
posted.
I'll share it out definitely, but yeah, I mean, I
what do y'all think though? I mean, it's interesting. I mean, because I'm not going to give a definite no, he's dead. I say the possibility is there. I
well,
mean, he might be for all I know, he could be in Cuba chilling.
see, here's the thing. I used to think it was all bullshit. Like, there's no way he's still alive. He was shot down and dead. But
Right,
I, as I became a conspiracy theorist over the last 15, 20 years, the idea popped in my head, like, it wouldn't be that hard for him to just fucking grow some dreads or have some dreads put on, whatever, and just go down to Jamaica, Cuba, whatever, and just fucking chill and
right.
be be one of those recluse people who rarely leaves their house, like that type of thing. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to believe, and he probably has a group of people that know who he is and keep it quiet down there. Like, I mean, I almost wouldn't believe it, but CJ showed me some proof that like Elvis may be alive and may be a pastor in the deep south. So, and
Dude,
that was
that one is crazy because it's like, I don't want to believe it, but there's just so many coincidences between dude and Elvis, and it's just like,
But
okay,
think about it also. he would be, if anybody, he would be able to pull it off. I mean, he did have connections to do that
But I'm
if he
saying, like,
wanted to.
this dude in Arkansas, he has the same crooked finger. He wears a ring that he said he got from the niece of Elvis. He sings exactly like they've done like forensic voice prints of his gospel thing and what Elvis's voice is, and they're almost identical. He's the exact same age. He has the scar above his eye where Elvis had. Bob Joyce as a person did not exist before 1983.
Wow.
There's no records of this fucker being born or anything. It's just everything about Bob Joyce says witness protection or like a CIA type of thing. And it's like, okay, when you have one or two coincidences, okay, you bounce it off. But when you got 8, 9, 10 things, and then dude is like, he's literally got Elvis's ring, and he admits, I got it from Elvis's niece. Okay, how the hell does a pastor from Benton, Arkansas get connections to Elvis's niece enough to give him a ring that belonged to Elvis? Like, you just don't get given jewelry that belonged to Elvis unless you're attached to Elvis or somebody that is close to the family, you know, because that shit is priceless, basically, because Elvis fans will pay
millions.
You know,
millions.
Yeah, Elvis fans will mortgage their house over the little shit, let alone a ring, a gold ring with a signet that literally he wore dozens of times on live TV and in movies, you know. So I'm like, call it what you want. I'm not saying that is Elvis. I'm just saying there's a lot of coincidences.
It's not beyond the realm of possibilities. Is what I
yeah.
We're not saying it's not. We're not saying it's not Elvis, but you know, a fool can only believe so much before he's really a fool. So it's you know, one of those things. But CJ, what did you think of this Machiavelli album?
You know, I have a lot of respect for Pac. I've had so many arguments. You know, when people want to argue the greatest of all time, my greatest of all time is based on criteria that is probably totally different than other people. For example, I have never put Biggie on my greatest because Biggie only did 2 records. And to me, yes, it's unfortunate he died when he did, but I can't call you the greatest of all time if you only did 2 records when you're weighting it against people like Jay-Z, Nas, KSR1, Chino XL, who's done dozens of records. You know, so just for that fact alone, and Pac kind of falls under the same thing. Pac only did like 3 or 4 records. Unfortunate that he died, but
supposedly.
Okay. Anyway, you know, when you weight his thing against the others, I can't put Pac on the greatest list. Was Pac a supreme lyricist? Yes. Was he not? The thing about Pac was, though, what set Pac apart and what people tend to overlook wasn't the fact that Pac was just a great rapper or a lyricist. Pac was a storyteller. And storytellers in hip hop are few and far between. When you have people like KSR1 and Slick Rick and Big Daddy Kane that told stories as opposed to just rapping about something, you know. So Pac was on another level just based on the fact that his songs were stories. You know, if you watch the movie he did poetic, is it Poetic Justice?
Well, what was it? Poetic Justice?
Boys in the Hood?
No, it's Poetic Justice. I think it's the one where he wrote the poetry all the time.
Poetic Justice.
I think it had Janet Jackson in it. It was him and Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, that was the kind of person Pac was. Like Pac was a poet. He wasn't just a rapper, man. Like, so, you know, I respect Pac on kind of a different level than a lot of other hip hop artists based on that fact. And, you know, like I said, I put him in that same category as like KSR1 and Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, people like that they were the storytellers. They were the historians almost of hip hop, in the fact that, you know, they took the old school approach, but they made it relevant and modern to their time. This isn't my favorite Tupac record, but it's got 3 or 4 songs on it that are, you know, they're barn burners. The thing with me with this record is when it's good, it's great. When it's not, it's just kind of there. So to me, it's a bit uneven, but, you know, I think that comes from, you know, if this was done posthumously, you know, maybe, okay, this section of songs were totally complete, and these sections were maybe still pieces that were assembled by someone other than Pac. And maybe they weren't, you know, complete in what Pac would have had them be. So that's where the unevenness comes from, is this was a song that maybe, you know, it ended up being more Dre's vision than Pac's vision, or more, you know, Johnny G's vision than Pac's vision. But it's still a great record. I mean, it's Pac. You don't really go wrong with Pac.
I think, and another reason I chose it, because I think at the time that it came out, you know, and it's funny, Squatch, you brought up, you know, the conspiracy theory, like, is it, you know, that you asked me that, because I was one of the holdouts. I was one of the ones that, nah, he's still alive. You know what I mean? So I was waiting, you know what I mean? You know, and foolishly or not, you know, it was just too much surrounding. It was just too many coincidences at the time. And I just felt like, to be honest with you, he just wanted to get away from the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But and that's why, because it's like when this album came out, I was like, wow, even if it's posthumously, you know, and you're right, it does sound like some in some areas of it that is like, you know, it's put together, you know, studio album and whatnot. Had he would have been alive to see it through, yeah, I think it would have been a totally different album. But I think that even if we, you know, come to the conclusion that, yeah, he did really pass away, I think he left us with something to, you know, it was just a memorable album for me, you know, because I remember just bumping that album like when it came out. I got it on cassette. That's when cassettes was getting ready to, you know, everything was transferring to CD. And I think I wore the cassette out, then bought the CD and probably warped the CD out. You know what I mean? But it was just something that rarely, and then it was at a time in hip hop where, if you remember, like, very few albums came out where you could listen to the whole album from start to finish all the way through. You know, like a lot of artists were starting to fall off with
Yeah.
that. And it was that rare instance where I just felt like every song kind of, it was just something that I could put on and ride from Florida to South Carolina, you know, all the way through without skipping through anything.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
mean, it's see, I get that, and if I'm not mistaken, there's been like 5 or 6 albums, or at least they released posthumously, of like different record labels like putting out his unreleased tracks. My whole childhood in high school, I remember hearing like, oh, it's a new album by Pac. It's all stuff he had stored away somewhere. Like, yeah, that's why I always thought he didn't die, because like, how do they keep finding all this shit that he supposedly has stored away somewhere? Like, he's singing somewhere, rapping shit and saying it to his record label, and just fucking like collecting the checks. That's all he's doing.
But
right.
in hip hop, what makes hip hop unique from Prince or other artists like pop artists, hip hop artists, man, they collaborate with so many different people and so many different producers. So you might end up with 3 songs with Alchemist, 3 songs with Guru, 3 songs with Dre 4 songs over here. So there might still be 50 or 60 songs out there, and these motherfuckers are just sitting on it because they know they're waiting for that moment, like something's gonna come up. They're gonna finally make an arrest or something. And then okay, we're gonna drop this. This is a Dre thing. You saw it with Chino. When Chino, passed,
Yeah, unfortunately.
motherfuckers were like coming out of the woodwork trying to release this shit. And his daughter literally had to get legal orders because these motherfuckers were trying to capitalize on Chino's suicide. And it was like, this was unfinished shit that Chino would have never put out because Chino was a perfectionist and he would have never released unfinished shit. So to protect the integrity, his daughter has literally had to fight these people, So it's not unusual really for hip hop.
Yeah, I guess it's not. I mean, that's obviously why I respect horrorcore more than any other form of hip hop, because like take Geno Coltshit's untimely death about 5-6 years now, like a decade ago now. But like Scum, he was on Scum's label. Scum could have released all the Dark Half shit he had unreleased at that point, because he told me at a concert, he's like I got tracks and tracks of Geno and Dark Half like unreleased. He's like I'm working through it. He's like I'm trying to see what I think is good for release and what Geno wouldn't want released. And he's like I'm gonna do it over time. And he wasn't lying. Like he did over the last 10 years. He released I think 2 or 3 albums of Dark Half stuff that no one ever heard, or remixes that no one ever heard. But he did it tastefully. He didn't do it like, oh, here's an album every fucking couple months of his shit. No, it's
Right.
just and the albums he's dropped have been fire. So like I can't hate on him for it because he's doing the right thing by dropping it, because I want to hear more of Geno. Like Geno was his voice was so unique for hip hop. Nobody can do his voice in hip hop. Nobody. And if you never heard Dark Half, go check out Dark Half. They're fucking incredible. But the two of them together is just harmony, pure harmony. But people say Boys to Men got harmony. I'm like, fucking listen to Dark Half. Jesus Christ. But so as far as Tupac Machiavelli goes, I have never been a Tupac fan by any means. I couldn't get into him. I barely can get into Biggie. Like I never saw why people said they were both like legends. Like I never can get into it. I mean, I love Dre and I respect that he wanted to bring Tupac up and like put him out there. And I mean, you saw it in Straight Outta Compton. They kind of did a good job of kind of showing that in that one scene where like he has Tupac in the booth and he's just like, and like it's when everything's going bad at Death Row, and he's like, I need to get the fuck out of here, and Tupac's kind of stuck in the middle of it, stranded on Death Row, as we all know. But it's just I
Pac
never
turned himself into a corner, man, that he couldn't get out of.
well,
Basically.
it's I mean, it was on Dre too though, because Dre brought him in and then he didn't take him out with him. But
but Pac
It was a complex
painting himself in that
situation.
corner.
I mean, and if you watch the American Crime Story like season about Tupac and Biggie, like it's just like there's so much, like they were friends. Like there's something behind that whole story that doesn't make sense. And to this day, it does not make sense. People are not going to kill a famous rapper just for beef. Like there's somebody's getting paid to do something.
Well,
Like
I mean, Biggie did have the song. Now, Biggie did say, "You're nobody till somebody kills you." Too. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, and
you know what I mean?
that's
It could
true.
be, worth more dead than alive situation. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it's true. Look at Malcolm X. Look at MLK Jr. It's true. You're worth more dead than alive because you're a martyr. But
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
you got to remember, Pac started with Digital Underground.
Oh,
Right.
thank you. Nobody wants to
Right.
admit that, and I'm like,
Yeah, he did. He did. You're right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
I've
wrong.
seen it.
He's in the Nothing But Trouble movie. At the end,
I'm like, I've seen the fucking videos on YouTube of him in Digital Underground, but people are like,
Yeah.
no, he was. I'm like, people are like, he never was part of a group. I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind. He was
was.
part of a group.
He started off toting records and worked
I
his
mean,
way up to a background dancer, and then
I mean, it, like
shot to some
literally,
more.
in one of the videos, you see him in like a pure African garb, like doing this like Madonna dance, like in the back of a video.
Yeah, that's
Same song.
uh
Same song.
that's yeah. All around the world the same.
Well,
It's in
same
the
song.
Nothing But Trouble movie with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase.
Right. Yeah, they did the soundtrack.
But I mean, I I respect Tupac for what he did. I like a lot of his songs. I mean, Thug's Mansion is always going to be like one of my favorite songs that he did.
Mhm.
But this album, I did a listen through of all his stuff years ago, like 10 years ago. About I did a full listen through of all his stuff, and he I respected what he did. I liked it as like music, but I just never got. I mean, I've never been a hardcore fan of his. Maybe I was like maybe I got into rap a little too late because I never get into Biggie either. I never was a fan of Diddy, thank God. But I never was a, I never was a fan of like a lot of the early '90s stars because of that, except for like hardcore artists later on.
Right.
So, I mean, this album wasn't bad. I'm not gonna lie. This album actually impressed me. There's a lot. There's a few songs on here. I got an honorable mention for fuck's sake. So there's songs on here I know. There's songs on here I know lines from because they've been sampled 1,000 times. But
Right.
it's it's a legendary album. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could see an alternate what if version of this world where Tupac was still alive, quotation marks,
Right.
and and like alive in the mainstream and was still putting out like music regularly to this day. I would love to see who in the current rap game that he would have brought up, what rap stars could have been that he never got to bring up. Like that's the thing. What rap stars could have been huge if he brought them up. If he
Right.
became a producer and like produced their first album. Like who could have been? Like it's one of those things where it's like it could have been same for Biggie. I mean, what if Biggie did the same thing? I mean, it's both of them could have changed the rap game. The rap game could be 100% better today if they were still alive and producing albums. Who the fuck knows? Who the
Right.
fuck knows? I mean, we'll never know unless we go back in time and change shit someday, which could happen because I just saw today that scientists went back in time first.
Parallel universes.
Well, that too, but I actually saw an article today that quantum scientists went back in time 1 second today. They went back in time 1 second,
Oh,
and
really?
that's a breakthrough. That's a fucking breakthrough and a half. Because if we can
Yeah.
figure that out, it's
Jeez,
only
anytime.
it's only a matter of time until we figure out how to do it completely and figure out how to go back to where we want to go back to. So
Right.
who who's to say we don't wake up someday and we're like, oh, and the news is like, oh, Tupac's new album comes out today, and here he is to talk about it. Like who the fuck doesn't say we wake up to that someday? We don't even realize the difference because you change the past, you change the future. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Yep.
But all right, here's what's gonna get interesting. What are your top five, Neff, on Machiavelli's album?
My top five is, of course, the first single that dropped, which is "Hail Mary." Um, just because the hook, and then that sing songy is catchy. You know what I mean? I was watching something, like waiting to get on, just going through some TikTok videos and stuff like that, and there was a songwriter that said that Quincy Jones saw him at an ASCAP award party, and he was like, "Man, fuck the verses, write hooks, basically, to get on the radio and make the money." But and that's what Anthony pushes me to do, because I can go on for days just straight writing, being an MC and not take a breath to write a hook. You know what I mean? But the hooks are important. But and it's catchy. It's that la la da 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 da. Come with me. It just sticks with you. Um, and then when they released it, I was like, okay, yeah, this album might be something serious. My second one is Me and My Girlfriend. And it was interesting to find out that the woman that did the actual voice playing the role of the gun, she was explaining how that came to be, and how she really didn't want to do it, and Pac was able to convince her. She actually worked for Death Row label as a secretary, as administrator. And he was like, "No, I want to get this song on the album." So she went ahead and and did it. And I just thought that that was a creative idea. It kind of brought it to life. So Me and
Was
My
that
Girlfriend.
was that Jewel?
No, it wasn't Jewel. It was people thought it was Jewel, but it wasn't Jewel. It was just I forget her name, but you can find it on YouTube.
Superhead, Superhead.
No, it wasn't super. But I think she was. Matter of fact, she was doing an interview with. She was explaining that to Vlad. It was a Vlad interview that she did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um. So me and my okay. So yeah. Hail Mary. Uh. Um. Me and my girlfriend. Hold your head. Is my third one. Just because uh, with the incarceration, the mass incarceration of black men in this in the America, it was just something that it was like uplifting. You know what I mean? It was just something inspirational.
It came.
Um,
Hold Your Head came up in another. It came up in a bracket special we did. It came up at one point. It might have been Rolling Stone Top 500. It could have not been. I forget what the hell it was. But
mhm,
Hold Your Head Up was like in something we did, and people
yeah.
had nothing. People love that song. I know they do.
Hmm. Yep. Um, and my third one is Blasphemy.
It's a
Um,
good track.
got one of my all time favorite lines: "Picture jewels being handed to an innocent child." You know what I mean? Like that sums up. He's just giving up the game on that. You know what I mean? He's just it's like he's an uncle talking to a young nephew. Like, look, man, this is life. This is what to look out for. Just giving guidance. So that's four, right? And then,
Hmm.
of course, I'm gonna do "Toss It Up" with Casey and JoJo, just because we was in the clubs spilling Hennessy everywhere every time that song came on when it
Oof.
came out, man. Um, so yeah, those are my five from that album, from
Oof.
this album.
I won a bottle of Hennessy in a work Christmas thing a couple years ago, and oof. I never really got into Hennessy until that
Mhm.
night, and that night I drank like half the bottle or something like that, and I was like, why do people love this so much? It tastes like shit. Like it's not good. Like you have to mix it. You have to mix it and make your drinks like fucking weak because it tastes like shit. Like it's not good. Like
Yeah.
why is everybody rap about this? It's not good. Like fucking drink some gin or drink some vodka. Like it's not good. Drink some good like rap about Jack Daniels. That's better than this shit. But fuck. CJ, what were your top five for Machiavelli?
I got four. I got Hail Mary. I got Crazy. To Live and Die in L.A. I love the hook in that one. Uh,
Right.
but I think to me, the song that epitomizes what Pac was on this record is White Man's World, because it's that storytelling, man, of
Yep.
the historical aspect of it, but there was a meaning and a message behind everything he said, and it's what set him apart. And I've said this to other people. I think if Pac lives, he goes down a path very much similar to where Scarface is today. With that storytelling aspect of uh, never seen a man cry till I said a man die,
Right.
and shit like that. Or Smile, or you know, Drive, songs that just there's a concept and a story behind them, man. But there's a flow in the voice is what sets them apart. When you hear Scarface, for example, there's no mistaking who that is. There's
Right.
not a person on earth that you are going to mistake for Face.
Right.
E40 is another one. Um, just that unmistakable voice. Um, Kid Frost, you know, uh,
I mean,
DMX was one. It's
I'll,
just when you hear that voice, you instantly know. And Pac was one. Like when you
I'll
hear Pac, you know Pac.
I'll throw Hobson on that mix. You can't hear Hobson's voice without knowing who the fuck it is.
Oh
Mm,
yeah.
I mean, dude, uh, Young Wicked even made fun of his voice in his song because like everybody knows his fucking voice. But
Right.
yeah.
um, My top 5 for this album. I had an honorable mention. Me and my girlfriend's my honorable mention because you don't grow up in the '90s without knowing that song. Me and my girlfriend, like everybody knows that song. But my number 5 was "Toss It Up." That was a fun fucking song I really didn't know before. My number 4 was "Life of an Outlaw" because for some reason I love songs that are about being an outlaw, even though I've never been one. So that song was fucking fun. My number 3 was "Bomb First" because I like his message. I like his message. I like his lyrics in that song a fucking lot. And I mean, Tupac was revolutionary. He really was, and that song shows it. My number 2 is "Hail Mary" because that one line that got sampled over and over again. Revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. And who the fuck doesn't know that line from fucking Tupac? Like, it's a fucking classic
It's a
line.
classic line, right?
And it's true. It's true. That's the only thing better than getting pussy is revenge. So it'll make you feel like you got laid 5,000 times over. But my number 1, and this song I really didn't know, but this song kind of blew me away today, and that's "Crazy."
Mm.
I almost feel like I almost feel like Tupac went into hardcore for a second before hardcore was really a big thing. Like, I was like, oh shit, this is I'm like, this is fucking Pac. And
I've said before when him and Pac did that song "Smile," that would have been a perfect song for this record. Like that would have fit right in with "Crazy."
Oh, smart, yeah.
And a couple other songs. Like it had that flow and that tenacity to it. And that's why I said I think if Pac lives, that's the direction he goes in. Is like the song "Smile," where it's still Pac, but it has more of an edge. It has more of a, you know, I don't want to say a political tone, but it had more of a revolutionary edge to it than the like, California Love type of stuff.
I mean, California Love is a fucking amazing song, but
yeah, but I don't see Pac just continuing down that road. Like Pac was trying to change, man. Like Pac was trying to evolve, and he would have evolved into something bigger.
He was giving more sub. He was getting more substance based.
It's like I said, rap could be 100% different today if Pac was alive.
Yeah,
it could be 100%. It could be 100% different because all these young rappers, Future, Metro Boomin, Savage, all these other fucking rappers that are out there nowadays that I don't even know. I don't know any of their shit. I just know their names. Think about like fuck Lil Nas X. Like they could have been 100% different if Pac was still alive. Like, but
the landscape would definitely be different.
They all went to pop because people like Pac weren't around anymore. People like Biggie weren't around anymore. Instead, they just have people like P. Diddy telling them like, "Oh, do what you gotta do to get big." Like, and we all see what happens when you do what Diddy wants you to do. So, but
right.
baby, oil. But I have not done that on a show yet since that shit dropped. I had to do it finally. But CJ, let's jump to yours before we go back to mine because I want to kind of break up the style here. What album? What album did you? I'm not complaining about that either. But what album did you want to bring?
I went back and forth, man, between what I brought and the new Public Enemy. I was kind of leaning towards the Public Enemy, but I was kind of like, okay, I want something that's like really, really musical. And Pac was musical, so I brought. They're from Oakland, which is where Pac started, and I think Pac would have went hard with this dude. The name of the group is called the Coup, and the record is called "Sorry to Bother You." And it's Boots Riley's group essentially, and Boots actually wrote a movie related to "Sorry to Bother You," and he's written a second one now. And Boots is, I know a lot of people don't know the Coup, they don't know Boots, but to me, the Coup is the West Coast Outcast. Like they are. Like everything about the Coup is relative to what Outkast did in the South, man. The live instruments, the flows, the genre jumping between rock and hip hop and almost like a punk. style sometimes, and the bass, the 808s that were relevant in both. You know, I just, to me, the Coup is one of the most criminally underrated and slept on hip hop groups on earth, man. Like, if you don't know the Coup, you are missing out, man, because their shit is dangerous. Like, I'll fuck around and get a speeding ticket listening to these guys in the car, because you know, some of this shit is just
I can't wait to get to my turn for this. But first things first, Neff, what you think of the Coup?
Man, I've been following the Coup since Kill My Landlord.
nice.
And Genocide and Juice. Man, you hit the nail on the head with that one, man. When they first came out, they were different, because even before Outkast, a lot of people don't know that whole first album, outside of, and then they had one of the first female DJs, um,
Yeah.
which was a nice touch to it, to the group as well. But that whole first album was live instrumentation. And matter of fact, I remember when I bought it, that's when I was starting to get into producing. And I remember distinctly seeing on the back of the cover, you know how, we used to do with the CD covers and stuff. We used to read the credits and stuff like that. And at the bottom, he was like, "Please feel free to sample
Yeah.
anything from this album." You remember that?
Yeah, because
So,
the next record they did after that was literally called "Steal This Album."
steal this album, right?
I
And I
saw
just,
that. I saw that. I'm like, oh shit, they stole. I'm like, who stole it first? System of a Down or them?
No, oh no, they was them. Like
yeah,
Boots is a radical dude. Like Boots is,
way ahead of his time, man.
yeah, like Boots is
Way ahead of his.
a lot of hip hop dudes talk revolution. Boots is like, that's a good name for him, because this motherfucker, he's a boots on the ground, real
Revolution.
life revolutionary radical. Like, he is a
Right.
modern day Huey Long, bro. Like, he's a badass, and he's so talented on so many levels, as an actor, as a movie screenwriter, as a fucking composer. I mean, this dude just does shit just for the sake of doing shit, and he never misses. And he comes up with, it's like, concepts. Um, One of their early songs that I always get a kick out of is the I can never remember the exact title.
I probably saw it today. I was looking up their history.
Yeah,
today,
it was
but...
the Jesus in a.
Oh,
Yeah, me and Jesus the pimp in the '79 Granada last night. Now, when you say that title, me and Jesus the pimp in the '79 Granada last night, that should not work in any way, shape, or form. But this motherfucker wrote a song that has one of the biggest fucking hooks in all of hip hop for that song, and it's so smooth. It literally ranks up there with like the Outkast tune, not Mrs. Jones.
Bombs Over
What's out?
Baghdad. Bombs Over Baghdad.
No, the Outkast one where he's in love with the girl. And he's talking to her grandma or auntie, whatever.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it has that same kind of hook, like "Sorry, Miss Jackson," but it's just like Boots can do shit, bro. Like, just for the sake of doing it. And
And
when
Mo
I
Miss.
tell people about the Coup, they're like, "Who? And I'm like, man, you missing out, because they're fucking great.
Well, Neff, did you finish your review of them or not? I didn't. I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm
I
sorry.
did. I did. And the crazy thing about it is, this was when y'all sent this to me. This was my first time hearing this album. I didn't even I had to go back and check their whole discography because I was like, damn, I've been missing out. But what got me is just the the stark contrast between what I'm used to hearing from them, and they just completely went left field, like punk rock. You know what I mean? I mean
They
heavy
went
metal. Like
Prince.
I mean they didn't hold back. They didn't even try to cross
Yeah,
genres with hip hop. They just said fuck it. We're going rock, punk rock. You know, we're gonna be put. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, it was an experimental, and that gave me a bigger appreciation for Boots on that as well because I'm like, it just like you just summed it up, man. Like just his thinking is on a whole nother level. Musically, it all fit. It wasn't anything. It wasn't out of place.
yeah,
Um, at times, and it was wild, but it was like controlled chaos
yeah.
is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I have never heard the
I've
Coup.
said to people that if Prince were to ever produce a hip hop record, it would be
That's what
this
it would
record.
sound
You know
Like,
what?
like literally, it would sound like
you
this.
You
got
know
it.
what? That's honestly what this album reminded me of. Was
You
like Prince.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
This album reminded me of Prince and the New Power Generation, like times 10. Like
Right.
that's what it reminded me of. I never heard of the Coup till today. I never heard of them. I until last week when he told me this album. But I checked it out today, and I checked it out today, and I was like, all right, what the fuck? And at first, I played the wrong album because I looked up the soundtrack and said,
that's
but
just because he did the movie and then he re-recorded it with the soundtrack song,
but
right.
which there's literally two.
but I quickly looked at your album, and I was like, oh, wrong. And the first track, I'm like, oh, wrong album. And I'm like, this can't be the album. And I went and looked at your like message, and I'm like, okay, it's not the album. And I went back, I went and listened to your actual album, and I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like, this is beyond phenomenal. I'm like, this does not disappoint. I actually followed him on Spotify because this is the last album he put out in like 2012. So like,
Yeah,
I want to check out like all his older stuff as well, and like really get a full grip of
because
this man.
he's making movies now, is what he's
I
doing.
I know the
So
name. I know the name Boots Collins. I know the fucking name, but I never heard this band before. So I was thoroughly fucking impressed. I mean, it blew me away. It reminded me, and you might hate me for this comparison, but there's this one track on the Beastie Boys' last album they did, Hot Sauce
yep,
Committee Part Two, Hot Sauce Committee
yep,
Part Two, that
Mm.
reminds me that's all I was thinking about this whole album was that one track, and this whole album reminds me of that track style, and
yep.
they may have took inspiration from him from it honestly because I think their last album came out after this album, but it's actually no it didn't. No, it did. I think their album came
No,
out.
theirs would have come out before this one.
Theirs came out in like 2010, I think. So,
Yeah,
Hot Sauce Committee Part Two is a fucking. I keep meaning to bring it on the show eventually, but honestly,
Yeah.
if you give me your album first, I listen to it. I might have done that, but I fucking I love this album. Like this album is incredible. I can't say anything bad about it. It's EDM meets fucking. It almost reminded me of like what Korn did when they went with like their Path of Totality album, and they did like the same thing. They did the same thing with like Skrillex and other EDM bands, like
Yeah.
doing collabs. It reminded me of that, like two genres that normally don't mixing perfectly. And you want to say he stepped away from hip hop? He didn't. There's a lot of hip hop in this as well. Like there's verses, there's fucking choruses that are fucking phenomenal, and he stuck with it. Like he stuck
Yeah.
with the hip hop thing, but he just added EDM in the background, and it fucking works. So I love this album.
Yeah.
I will. I mean, I got a long list of artists I want to check out in my Spotify, and the Coop's in the Coop's in the end of the list now, but I'll get there eventually. I will get there
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Now I appreciate you for picking this album, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and listen to it in detail later on tonight,
See,
like in more in depth, man.
that, that's the great thing about having CJ as a co-host is I usually like to go back and like bring
That's
nostalgia into my fucking choices.
right.
He likes to bring me shit I never heard before and be like, listen to this, and I'm like,
Right.
and I'm and I'm rarely disappointed. I'm rarely ever.
I'm always out to one up a motherfucker, bro. Because I'm like,
and
I was like, I'll see you, Tupac, and I'll raise you this. You
I
know?
mean, I never heard of that.
I fail sometimes, but
I never heard the album. We're bringing next week, so we'll see how next week goes. But this one didn't.
No, you're gonna like it, bro, because the nail bite one you had the other day, it's the one I kept saying. Like I could see them going in that direction, so you're gonna hear a lot of similarities between.
I'm down. I'll listen to any album once.
Anyways,
let's
concentrate on this, man, because this is one of my go-to records. Like when I get in the car, like
what are your all right? Well, here comes the hard question then, CJ. What are your top 5?
Okay, so I got 4 honorable mentions.
Me too.
First one is Gods of Science. Because Gods of Science, man, it has almost like a Hendrix type of almost like a Hendrix Sabbath type of guitar riff going for it. Second one is You Are Not a Riot. Strange Arithmetic is my third one.
Excellent, yeah.
And my fourth one, and I think it's one of the tracks on the record that kind of shines almost, but it's so different it kind of falls out a little bit, is a song Violet. Violet is like if it was on a different record, if Violet was on a record by like Jill Scott or India Ari, somebody like that, that would be a fucking massive hit. But I think when you put it in the mix with all of these other songs, it kind of gets buried a little bit. So number 5 for me is My Murder, My Love. And that's where I say,
good fucking track.
Yeah.
That's where I say, like, if Prince were to produce a hip hop record, it would be this record, because My Murder, My Love, that could be a fucking Prince tune.
Yep, it could be.
Like, that's a 100%. Straight up Prince style song. You know, number 4 is Land of 7 Billion Dances. The video for that is so great. Like them dancing on top of the bus while it's moving around and doing the whole, you know, whatever that shit is called. You know, pop lock, whatever. Number 3 is Your Parents' Cocaine.
Yeah.
You gotta respect a hip hop group that can make a beat with fucking kazoo. You know, like that. You know, and it's just like, that's a kazoo, bro. That's like a children's toy. You know, and then they have Justin Sane, who's the singer of the band Anti-Flag, which is a punk band. You know, and again, the hook is so catchy. Number 2 is Magic Clap. Because that's just one of them songs, like, it's funny. Magic Clap. But my favorite one, man, is probably my second favorite song by them, is The Guillotine. That bass line, that 808 on that fucking song, man, is like,
I couldn't get enough of that fucking bass.
Wicked. Like, it pulses, man. Like, it just, you know. Like,
I wanted to get back work and dance to that shit. Like, I really did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just one of them songs. Like, I'll fuck around and get a speeding ticket listening to this record, because between like Magic Clap, Guillotine, Parents' Cocaine, like, I'll be sitting in the car just like swerving and shit with them. You know, and it barely scratches the surface with them. That's the thing. Like, go into like just listen to their top songs from the top down, and you'll rarely hear them do a song that doesn't just hit on one level or another. Boots is just, he's a next level dude.
He is. I definitely am checking out more of his shit. That's for sure.
So, but that's my list. Is
I mean, I can't wait to hear what they got next, man. I mean, where do you go after
Well, it's
You know what I
it's
mean?
You make movies apparently.
I mean,
Basically,
apparently, because it's been 13 years and he hasn't put out shit. So,
yeah.
I mean, but Neff, what were your top 5 for the Coup?
My top 5 was number 5, the Magic Clap, and reason being is because that opening let me. It took away everything that I expected to hear from the Coup. I was like, okay, now we're on a different ride with this one. So, but yeah, it was a great opening track for me, just because it laid the groundwork for what you would expect to hear. For just the experimentations you would expect to hear throughout the rest of the album. Number 4 for me was the Guillotine, because for the same reasons y'all said, that the bass line is crazy. Um, the next one was Violet. 3 for me was Violet, because of me, being a big Prince fan. I heard that. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
like he channeled that vibe. My second one is The Gods of Science, and I think the number 1 and my favorite is Strange Arithmetic.
Yeah.
I
That's a
mean,
wicked song.
I'm not gonna lie, we both were disappointed when you didn't want to bring Graffiti Bridge anymore as your album.
Oh,
But
really?
I would have went with
Next,
that one too, because that's got
trust
my
me,
favorite Prince song.
yeah, I was gonna
next.
say, CJ's favorite song is "Thieves in the Temple." So,
Love gone
Oh.
with, love come in a hurry.
but
I swear to
I,
God, dude, if there is any song that is just begging for like a fucking rock-ish metal type of remake,
Is
like
that one?
I can hear somebody like Korn or Bad Omens or somebody like that
Yeah,
doing just
it
like
would be
a
like when
fucking
Korn
revved up.
redid Smooth Criminal. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
okay,
somebody needs to
that
remix
that
it. You're right.
that's Alien Ant Farm. But yeah,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
somebody like that, just I could hear them doing, or the Cross. The Cross is another one, dude. That song
I
is
mean,
just, it starts so mellow, and then that
correct
guitar solo at the end
co-
fucking kicks in.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I can hear Lord of the Lost doing that song too, and if he does another cover
That's what I'm
album,
saying, though. It's
yeah,
somebody that can understand the intricacies, or the intricacies of the beat. You know,
Mhm.
yeah,
dun
yeah,
dun 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 dun, and it's just that almost like a snare drum kind of.
exactly,
It's like a very minimal drum, and then it
Right.
gets heavier as it goes along, as he picks the tempo up. And the Cross does the same thing. And when Prince sings the Cross in the beginning, it's just that almost like that foot stop, and then it picks up, and by the end of it, it's like that full on fucking guitar solo where he's literally channeling like fucking Jimi Hendrix almost, and you
yep.
know, so
Yeah,
Well,
man.
well, all right. Well, I got 4 more mentions for this album as well. I'm gonna fly through them a little bit. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly through them because we're running out of time. We're running long on time here, but then we still got another album to discuss. That's gonna take a while. I'm pretty sure. But Magic Clap was my first honorable mention because fun fucking opener. We've got a lot to teach you, Cassius Green. I really like that fucking song.
that's a great
That,
song.
that's a good song. The Gods of Science, fucking phenomenal. I I dug the fuck out of that song. If it wasn't for the beats, that song would have been a lot higher. And if it wasn't for the beats in the other songs, I mean. And Strange Arithmetic was my final honorable mention because Strange Arithmetic is fucking a fun song lyrically. My number 5 was This Year, which nobody mentioned, but This Year is a fucking fun ass song. My number 4 was WAVIP, Wavip. I fucking love
Killer
that
Mike.
song. I love that song. That song is fucking fun.
Killer
Uh,
Mike. Yeah.
my number 3 is You Are Not a Riot because the beat is fucking insane.
You are not
And
right.
my
That's
number
a punk
2,
rock song, dude. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
it's positioned as a hip hop song, but that's a fucking punk song.
Oh,
Okay.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But
Yeah.
my number two, nobody mentioned yet, which is amazing. But my number 2 is Long Island Iced Tea. Neat. I almost thought that was I thought that was gonna be my number 1. I thought it was gonna be my number 1. because that song is fucking so good lyrically, beat wise, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard the guillotine, and nothing was beating the fucking guillotine on this fucking album. Nothing. The guillotine might be one of my favorite songs of all. I said to my friend at work, I'm like, you gotta fucking hear this. I'm like, I know you don't like rap unless it's actually fucking amazing, but you gotta hear this. Like,
Right.
it's oh my god, it's phenomenal. So like, I will be going to check out the rest of this band shit because like the Coup is fucking something I never heard of. They flew under the radar for me until now, but I will be fucking checking them out.
Yeah.
But
There's no bad songs on this record, dude. So literally anything you name,
that was the yeah. That's the
like
crazy thing.
you're not
I'm
wrong because, like you said, whether it's Cassius Green, whether it's whatever, Violet, whatever, they're all great fucking songs.
oh, they are. I mean, I was actually trying at a certain point to not put any more on my fucking album. I mean, on my list.
Yeah.
I'll try not to put any more on my list at a certain point because I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm getting out of control here.
And that's
But
what I did. I only added 4. I literally could have added half
I
the
know.
stuff you said.
But it's all new to me, so I gotta fucking list right here. But it's time, I guess. It's time. It's finally time. Because Nif wanted to bring a 1996 album. I'm like, fuck. There's nothing in 1996 I haven't brought before that I really, or hasn't been brought before that I really want to bring. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something here that's a callback to the person who recommended them to me. Because when my buddy Anthony Lewin was on the last time with my original co-host months ago, actually this has to be back in October, September of last year, actually. I brought a little album with that episode called Mystic Styles. And I was like, you know what? I haven't brought on 3-6 fucking Mafia in a fucking minute. And I need some 3-6 Mafia in my life right now. So I'm like, let's bring on the next album after Mystic Styles, The End. And
You talking about a classic there, man.
And I'm like, it is a classic. And I'm like, it came out in 97. So I'm only a year off for the fucking guest album. So I'm fucking down with that. I'm like, let's bring back 3-6 Mafia as the end because I love 3-6 Mafia. I love the Mafia 6. They're the new incarnation of them that isn't really put out albums anymore. But they're actually touring right now with, fuck, I forget who, but it's another famous band from back in their time. But they're touring right now all around the West Coast. And I'm like, I would fucking pay so much. I've only seen DJ Paul solo live. I would pay to see all of 3-6 Mafia live. And they're actually advertising themselves as 3-6 Mafia, not the Mafia 6. So that has to mean that Juicy J's involved.
Right.
So I'm like, so I would pay to see that fucking concert. So much money because I fucking love 3-6 Mafia. I got into in not college, but like kind of college, not after college. I was working a full time job and I was listening to a lot of ICP and shit, and like I heard 3-6 Mafia and ICP stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time I finally get 3-6 Mafia listen. And I love 3-6 Mafia. I don't like them after they got famous, after they went mainstream. I do not like it once Lord Infamous left, once Koopa left. I hate that shit. Like my co-host would bring that shit on, the most known unknown, the most known. Like he'd bring on that shit. Even when the smoke clears, I'm not a huge fan of that album because it's just that's when they go mainstream is when the smoke clears, and I'm not a fan of that. I like their hardcore roots, their southern Memphis hardcore, crack house roots, basically. Like that's what I like. What the fuck's it called? Trap house. I like their trap house, their old school trap house rap is what I like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I haven't brought 3-6 Mafia in almost a year. It's time to bring 3-6 Mafia back. So the end of the statement and that's the end of the album. But I got Neff. What do you think of the end?
A rider. All right. Put it on. Don't no skips. No skips at all. And to be honest with you, yeah, like you said, I missed Lord Infamous brought so much to this album. Like, and to be honest with you, his style was basically the staple of this album. His
Horrorcore.
fingerprints, his fingerprint. Lord Infamous is, and I think that's why he's missed so much, man, because he was actually kind of like the blueprint for the original, like you said, before they went commercial, for that true Memphis sound, that gritty
Him,
sound
him,
that
him, Koopsta, and Country Black kept all the
the
albums
country.
original.
Right, right, right.
Juicy J and DJ Paul had the beats. They
Yeah,
did, but they all kept the fucking album original. I mean, Koopsta, the three of them kept the album original, and then Gangsta Boo and LeChat were just added flavor. But
right, right. And then they had so many moving parts in the group, but they all meshed and made it work. It was a cohesiveness with that many members being a part of a collective like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Really, to be honest with you, it's kind of like a Southern Wu Tang Clan,
mm-hmm.
but with
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Just because the different styles that they were able to bring in and still mesh and be cohesive
I
throughout
mean,
a whole project, and then for all the songs to bang.
it's kind of funny because they were inspired by Insane Clown Posse to become a band, to become a group, because
Really?
because eventually they did Hypnotize Camp Posse, and that was like a nod to ICP.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you put me onto something there. Word.
And they collaborate with with ICP back in the day a lot of times, but
Yeah.
it's it is. I mean, ICP was on one of their albums. I think Chapter Two, World Domination, or where the hell it was, but I think they were on that. But I mean, yeah, it says in ICP's book that like 3 6 Mafia wanted to be them, so that's why they start
Wow.
because they heard them in the early '90s, and then by the mid '90s they started like rapping as a group.
Word. Word.
But because that's where their hardcore roots come from, is because they wanted to be ICP. But and Esham, they liked Esham too, but I mean Esham influenced ICP, so it all works in chain.
You're right.
But CJ, I know you told me you haven't gotten into 3 6 Mafia in a while. What do you think of this album?
I I'm still not a fan, bro. I respect them. I do. Like, so being born and raised in Michigan, I joined the National Guard and moved to Arkansas right around the time Southern rap took off. So I was in Little Rock while 3 6 Mafia, Lil White, Paul Wall,
Well,
Project
okay.
Pat.
Hold
all the-
on. Little White didn't get fucking into this picture until like a decade and a half later. But yeah.
No, Lil White was doing shit with Jelly in early 2000, 2001. So
Yeah, but 3 6 came up in the early '90s. I mean,
okay, well, but still, nonetheless, like when it was really blowing up, Pastor Troy and you know,
I love
them
Pastor
guys.
Troy.
Yeah.
Southern rap is Southern rap to me is an acquired taste.
Oh, 100%.
There are artists that I really, really like, and there are artists that I just grit my teeth. Like I don't get the hype of them at all.
Right.
Lil Jon with that, yeah, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so fucking annoying, you know.
He had one good song. He should have left it there and walked away. But yeah.
But
But he
I have a lot
he
of
was
respect for
inspired
3
by
6
3 6
Mafia.
too. 3
You
6 was the
what?
first to do that. I said he was actually inspired by 3 6 as well, because a lot of people don't know 3 6 came up with that crunk style first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I have a lot of respect for 3 6 Mafia for what they did. But they're also a group that I don't always connect to. They have certain songs that are good, and then they have some shit that's just really, really repetitive, and it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, next.
See, that's what I'm saying. Even in this album, you could hear them getting mainstream a little because the crunk thing was taken off, and they were getting mainstream. Even in this album, there's some mainstream tracks I can't stand. But
so, yeah, I 3 6 Mafia, I spend more time skipping their songs than I do actually listening. But you know, I love that they did the hustle and flow thing. You know, that was a cool.
Smack that hoe! Smack that hoe! Yeah,
I love the fact that they put Haystack in the movie. Like that was a cool touch to really representing the South, because Stack's a major part. Whether you like the guy or not, or what he's done in his past, Stack's been there. And even in that minor role of just that club DJ, it was 3 6's way of saying, okay, we're going to represent the whole spectrum of Memphis and Nashville. So, you know, it was a cool touch. It was a cool nod. You know, so
yeah,
that's pretty much what I got for 3 6.
I mean, and you want to talk Lil White? I brought Lil White and Jelly Rolls No Sick Days on this show before. I fucking love Lil White. I'll be bringing some of his solo albums eventually because I
No
fucking
Sick
love.
Days. You mean No Filter?
Yeah, no filter. No, yeah. I mean, No Sick Days is one of his albums, but no filter. Yeah. I brought No Filter when Jimmy was my co-host, and because I fucking love that album. I saw that album perform live when they opened up for Twisted, so I fucking love that album. But okay, you might kill me, but I got 6 honorable mentions for this fucking album because this album's fire and I can't not. I'll fly through them though because they're nothing to really talk about too much. Money Flow, it's a dope ass track. I like it. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest, but it's good. Where's the Bud? Where's the Bud's my next honorable mention? It's classic. I love Where's the Bud. But on this album, it's just like it's a breeze by. It's nothing anything amazing. It's one of their classics, but on this album, it's not shit. Where to Kill Us Hang, I love the lyrics and I love the beat. It's hardcore to the max, so I fucking love that shit. Last Man Standing, same thing. It's hardcore. It's fucking what they do phenomenally well. Same with Life or Death, which you can't listen to on Spotify for some reason. But I looked it up on YouTube, and it's like the hidden track for this album. It's kind of like their outro. Life or Death is a good track. And then my last honorable mention on this is In Too Deep, because that's fucking In Too Deep is classic. This is where I get into my classic 3-6 shit, because In Too Deep is fucking incredible. My number 5 is Stomp, because Cottonmouth Kings did a track that's very similar to that, but 3-6 fucking nailed it. Like the whole stomp and the fucking like creepy ass beat behind it is like pure horrorcore. My number 4 is Destruction Terror, because I fucking love that song. Like that's Lord Infamous's fucking verse in that is phenomenal. Like I love the beat. The beat is so fucking classic horrorcore.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Walk Up to Your House, because that's not even hardcore, but that's just that's classic 3-6. Like walk up to your house, like pull the gun out, like that's gangsta shit. And that's what they're known for, was gangsta shit, like with hardcore backgrounds. Like they are known for their gangster shit. And I love Walk Up to Your House. My number 2, and the fact is my number 2 kind of fucking pissed me off because it's not my number 1, but it can't be. You'll see why in a minute. But my number 2 is Body Parts, because that is one of the most classic rap songs in my opinion of all time. I love the second version. I love the third version, and they redid it as the Mafia 6 with like fucking 15 guest stars on it, and it's so fucking good. Like no matter what version it is, Body Parts is always a amazing song, and it's pure hardcore always. I put the Body Parts in my trunk. Like that's hardcore. That's ICP shit. Like I fucking like don't look in the trunk. Like that's from ICP's first. That's from ICP's first album, and fucking fuck, Night of the Axe. Night of the Axe. Like don't look in the trunk, when like the cop pulled them over, and the fucking like spoken part's like, don't look in the trunk, you say? Like it's fucking classic. Like that's ICP's influence right there.
Yeah.
And my number 1, my favorite 3-6 song of all fucking time, came out for the first time in this album. It came out again on World Domination, but it came out in this album first. Late Night Tip. Just that fucking piano-y ass beat. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Like it's fucking, oh my god, I love Late Night Tip. And before I met my wife, before I was a married man, that was my theme song. Like, I need my hair done. Bitch, me too. Don't come to me about don't come to me about that shit. Like it's fucking Late Night Tip is fucking one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
I love that fucking piano beat, and I can't get enough of it. Like anytime that comes on in my car, it never gets skipped. It never gets skipped. I have that like 3 different times in my fucking like list because of different albums it's been on, and that song is never bad. Like it's just always good. Like it's just
Yeah.
3 6. It's 3 6 Mafia's best fucking song. But the only song that comes close to it is it was a long night, and that's off of Mystic Styles. But if you actually go back and listen to that episode with Anthony, I actually rapped all Lord Infamous's verse on that episode. So
Oh,
I know that song. I know that song by fucking heart. But Nif, what were your top 5 off that album?
all right, my top 5 is number 5 is I Ain't Going. Um, just I like Lord Infamous, of course. And the subject matter, the production on this album for me was all the way live, all the way down. So for me, it was more so about them knowing that you were gonna get all gangster shit, but how creative they could get with it.
Yep.
So I Ain't Going was one of those for me. Um, my second one, I mean my fourth one is Destruction Terror, and
Classic.
yeah, and I love the way that they used LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out" sample in
I didn't
there.
catch that. I never caught that, but okay.
Yeah, Destruction Terror. Yeah, go back and listen to it. Yeah, they used
I
"Mama
I
Said
I,
Knock You."
I haven't listened to LL Cool J in a fucking minute, so yeah.
But yeah, they used it was a clever way that they used that sample. And I like that. My third one is Money Flow, because
Mhm.
Gangsta Boo, you know what I mean? Rest in peace.
We we actually did a Gangsta Boo bracket on the show like right after she died in honor of
Right.
her. We put all her songs from her 2 solo albums into a bracket and like kind of put them against each other. But
Oh wow. Very underrated. Underrated.
oh, her
Underrated as far
I
as like one of the
she
best
did
female Oh, go ahead. I'm
she
sorry.
she did a song called "I Faked It Last Night." It's one of the best female rap songs you ever hear in your life.
Right. And my where I'm at, that was
That was
three.
for
That was
three.
four.
Yeah,
Okay, that was four. Okay, my third one, Okay, so yeah, that's three. Okay, so my second one is Stomp,
classic.
and of course you already know the number one, Late Night Tip.
It's how can anybody
Late
not
night,
like that? It's just such a
late night
fucking
tip.
amazing song.
That
Like it, yeah. But
that is, yeah.
well, speaking of someone who may not like it, CJ, what'd you get for this? I don't even want to say 5 because I doubt you did, but
I have good stuff. I wrote the beat is nice, but I don't like the rapping. So that's what I had. um,
really? Oh my
yeah,
god! I
I
would.
wasn't, you know, I just wasn't connecting to it, dude. I just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it at all. I think part of it, honestly, I probably should have listened to this one first.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of listening to this one after Tupac and after the Coup. So after listening to those 2 records back to back, this one was just
Well,
like,
that's the same fucking thing I did. That's the
I
same
wasn't
fucking thing I
feeling
did.
it. I wasn't feeling it, bro. Like I just
Uh
wasn't connected to it. But like I got a lot of respect for him. I really do, man. Like
Production something else.
I'm
I
not
mean,
dogging them out or anything. I'm really not. Like there's stuff they do that I like, and there's stuff they do that I don't. But that's all of Southern rap. That's or Southern rap. That's a lot of artists. Pitbull, for example. You know, there's shit by Pitbull that I totally fucking love. Then there's shit by Pitbull that I'm just kind of like, okay, that could have just been left.
I can't get into
You know,
Pitbull. My fucking mother likes Pitbull. That's why I can't get into him.
I respect it, man. And some movies should be bangers, bro. Like
Oh,
You know.
he doesn't do bad shit. I'll tell you that. But my
Oh.
mother loves him, and she thinks he's the sexiest man alive. So I can't get into it.
I mean, he getting
that
paid.
would do it. That would definitely do it.
I mean, he getting paid. I mean, that's obvious from looking at him. That man is definitely
Oh,
Oh, well,
100%.
he found his niche too. He found a good niche,
yeah.
and he's
Well,
milking that cow for
oh,
everything it's worth.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
milking that shit. He really is. But well,
He just did a reggaeton record with some dude. So
folks, we brought you your albums thrice for tonight. It's been a long episode, but it's 3 amazing albums. How can we not
Oh
make it
yeah,
last this long? And I want to thank our guest Nephilim for coming on. I'm at the point right here in how I said it first
that's
time.
right. You'll have me on again. This was fun for
Oh,
me, man. I'll
and
bring back Graffiti Bridge next time, CJ.
all right. As
well, Graffiti Bridge or the Gold album. The Gold album is another
Gold,
one that Prince did.
Go.
Gold album's been brought on. That can be brought on again.
Oh,
Okay.
Dude, there's been a lot. Prince is one of the most represented artists in this fucking show so far. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Word.
But Graffiti Bridge has not been brought on yet, so that's allowed. But I mean, Gold album, Love Symbol album, Purple Rain, at least one other have all been brought on.
I'm surprised the Gold album's been brought in because that's one of the Prince records that most people have avoided.
I feel like I brought that on. I feel like I brought that on almost. I don't have to look, but I feel like I brought that on that episode. But I've been bringing I brought a lot of Prince on this show since I fucking got into him in the beginning of this show. But thank you to my co-host Chancey originally for bringing in the second episode of the show. He brought the Batman soundtrack by Prince, and that's what got me into Prince.
The only Prince record that I don't like.
Waiting on Miss Vicky and Bad Dance are the 2 best songs. But where can they find you, buddy? Where can they find Nephilim? Where can they find all your music?
Nephilim, you can find me on Tidal, along with Anthony Llewellyn. Our released album has been out for about a month and a half now. Johnson Hill, Volume 1. So you can find me on Facebook, of course, Instagram, all Nephilim, spelled NPHELIHM, 2 words, NPHELIHM. All your major music streaming platforms, Tidal, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Follow me, friend me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And yeah, man. Snapchat.
Well, it's been our pleasure having you on, man. It really has. And
Likewise.
and just like I told Anthony, we'll definitely have you back again. Because I mean, actually, maybe we can get like for the first time ever, maybe we can do a 2-guest episode and have you both on the same episode and do 4 albums. Maybe it would take some planning, it would take some prep time, but we could fucking do it. Yeah. And CJ, where can they find you?
I'm everywhere. Just type in what you see on the screen. YouTube, the webpage, Facebook, Fachi Book, TikTok. They're pretty much all Music God CJ playing. Just look for the brand. You can look up Music God Reacts on YouTube. There's the music reactions and the noise report, which is getting retired soon. For the podcast, we're going to replace it with the Mosh Pit Manifesto, and lean into the whole punk and metal thing. But just type in Music God CJ playing. You'll see my ugly ass, and you'll hear me talking about a little bit of everything from hip hop to punk to metal to shit like the Mosh. Classical music from Kazakhstan. So,
well, I think you're gonna love what I brought next week, then, CJ. But
yeah, I was looking at it. It's cool. I ain't listened to it yet, but it looks cool.
Watch the videos. I'm telling you, watch the videos because they have like a gorilla thing to them. But
whoa! A gorilla?
Gorillas, the band Gorillas.
The band Gorillas. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They had like that kind of thing going on.
You should have kept that to yourself.
Well, no. Nothing musically, nothing like them. But
Oh.
but they
No.
they only ever put out videos that are animated. Nobody knows who they are.
I'd say I
But-
love Del the fucking Homo sapien, but the rest of gorillas are ass.
Is that where Dell's from? Holy fuck! I never knew that.
Well, Dell's been around for. Dell's
Okay.
like the Coup, bro. Dell's been around for fucking decades doing his fucking thing. The motherfucker
Yeah.
stepped on
All
Dell.
right. That makes sense because I mean a lot of brackets in particular that are rap, Dell's on them. But
yeah,
Dell
and Murs are like.
They're
just like the West Coast weirdos.
Yeah.
I know Murs too from brackets, but you can find both your musers and Maniacal Music Musings as a whole on Facebook at Squatchy Largefoot, on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard, and of course YouTube, Maniacal Music Musings, the best place to check out because you can see everything we've ever done on YouTube. Spotify and all the other podcatchers are on there, but it doesn't go back that far, and they don't only put out like so many episodes. So go check out YouTube if you want to see everything we've done, all 100+ episodes of regular episodes, plus all the bracket specials. But actually, I think we're up to like 120 something now for regular episodes. But I just updated the list today, actually. But other than that, have a good week, everybody. We'll be back next Tuesday with a regular episode, as always, with another guest. And you can catch us next Saturday, a week from this Saturday, with the next part of the Advantasia bracket. But until then, have a good week, everybody. And we'll see you then. And we want to thank our guest, Neffel, him, for coming on. And it's been a fucking
Appreciate
blast.
you. Thank you for having me.
Have a good week, everybody. All right, he bounced fast.